We'll go ahead and get started here, call the meeting to order. Thanks everyone for being here and being flexible to come join us for this special meeting today. I'll kick it off with a legal notice. As information for our audience, if you're not satisfied with the decision made by the Metropolitan Board of Fair Commissioners today, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of cert with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of entry of the board's decision. To ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met, please be advised that you should contact your own independent legal counsel. Do we have any public comment today? We'll open up the floor. Oh, sure.
If you could leave your mask on, and to activate the microphone, just push the little person button on the right, and a green light should pop on.
Okay. All right, it's on. Hi, I'm Jerry Coble. I live at 1104 North Braycroft, Madison, Tennessee. And I'm here today just to speak to the Fair Board members. I would wish you would educate our leaseholders and vendors about the traditions of here, what we have, how sacred this place is and all. I don't want to see somebody that just wants to come in here and make $1 and get out of here, okay? That's not right. I want them to cherish the opportunity that they have to do business here at this fairgrounds. They don't know the history. Y'all need to inform them the history of this place, you know, like how it got started, where it come from, and how much fighting amongst the city and the neighbors and all to save this place. They need to embrace this place. And that's all I'm asking you to do is make it known. Maybe if I come in your office tomorrow, maybe you'd have General Rains got this property gave to him in the Revolutionary War, contributed. You know, we could have stuff like that displayed around here and let all of our people come to this place, enjoy it, but understand the heritage and the traditions and treat it with respect and kindness. And I've been here using this property for 50 to 55 years. Enjoyed a lot of things. Love this place, okay? I got a granddaughter that was born 2 weeks ago now. I hope she gets the same opportunity I did to come and cherish this place and do the activities and everything. But just encourage your vendors to be polite, respectful, be good neighbors, and know what gym we have here. This is probably the greatest facility that I know of anywhere, with all the traditions that it has and all the things that's been started and done here. And thank you for listening to me.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, great. We will close the floor then and move on to new business. Consideration of the 2022 Speedway contract with Track Enterprises.
Thank you. In your packets is a draft contract, so this is substantially similar. The only change that I've made and why it is still in draft is I did change the dates from 2021 to 2022 as we look into next calendar year racing season. One of the challenges that we have this time of year is coordinating our racing schedule with a lot of the things that we do here at the fairgrounds. Of course, we've got a new input with soccer, but also, and Bob can probably explain this a little bit better than I do, but he also has national racing schedules to look at and coordinate with those sanctioning bodies. And so that is quite the process. And so the earlier that we can advance a contract with him, the better off he is in scheduling. So other than that, there's no substantial changes to the contract other than the dates.
Okay, great. Any questions from the board? We've got Mr. Sargent here. Sherry?
I do, thank you. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Sargent for the considerable amount of time that he spent with me addressing my questions and concerns as it relates to the muffler issues insofar as measurement, evaluation, criterion for measurement, and management of enforcement. What I have learned from my conversations with him and from the study that I've done is that we've pretty much got two options insofar as managing the muffler intensity. One is going to be to specify a particular muffler that has to be used regardless of the car, the engine, the model, etc. The other option is to mandate a maximum intensity level that can be measured from the muffler at a specific location. So there are a lot of ramifications, impacts of each. You have to consider when the testing is done, where the testing is done, who does the testing, and what the criterion are for pass or fail. And so I think it's important, and Chair, I can do this as a motion at some point, but I think it would behoove the entire Fair Board to go over to the property and sit with Mr. Sargent and have a collaborative, hands-on conversation about what he shared with me and what the ramifications are of each opportunity that we have to manage the muffler intensity, and make this something that's positive for the drivers, the crews, the fairground operators, and the neighbors. That's it.
Excellent. Any, Commissioner Bergeron?
Question for Mr. Sargent. You know, I've made some comments about track rentals, and you know, we are limited for another yet another year on changes to this contract. You know, and when we had met a few years ago, we talked about this contract having been only intended to be a one-year contract, and then we'd go from there, especially on curfews and track rental amounts. What can you offer for what your efforts are going to be this year? I mean, can you offer first on track rentals? Can you try to use less than the 25 this year? Are you willing to try at that? And then the second question is to address, you know, continued efforts on curfews, and now that you're a couple years in, what you think you can get to there, sort of just as being a good neighbor to the community.
Mr. Sargent, thank you.
Can you hear me? Still on? So I think I'll address the thing that we probably succeeded, I'm most proud of today is the curfew situation. When we first came in, we all had a discussion of start time versus end time. Not only the lateness of the curfew, but also the entirety of race cars on the track on race day. And I promised that we would address that. And I think as you've addressed, we've commented on before, that the last show we were done at 9:06. We've started much later in the day, sometimes up to 1 o'clock. So we've accomplished that. To your question, what could we do better? We and myself are very cognizant of the community. We've been on, I believe, every community phone call for that reason, to take concerns, to take ideas, which I want to also offer while I'm on that to all of you. Anytime. I've been an open book. I've offered this many times. But as we get closer to the possible future of what happens here, I will offer my consulting, my ideas to help you guys through that. And then again, the curfew. I would be remiss if I got up here and told stories or related things or anything to you, because I'll hopefully be with you for the year and next year. And 9 o'clock at night is, for the industry standard, pretty good. That's probably as better as any racetrack in the United States gets over. So it will be hard to beat that. With saying that, I don't mind trying to get done at 8:45. We have a twofold mission in my industry, in my business, and this is a business, to number one is to be aware of the community and getting the noise down. But two is our customers sitting there don't want to sit there all night either. So as you can understand, it's my goal to do that. And I will continue to proceed with the curfews and the goal of an entirety of a day. And more than happy to discuss that more with you and show you the schedule of the day and take any ideas we can. Okay, now to the more central question of mufflers and noise. We have progressed from 0 mufflers when I started to mufflers on to recommendation of 5 different ones. We've learned a tremendous amount. And all I can guarantee today is that we feel that we have moved the needle all the way to the point we feel comfortable that noise levels, even to the ear in the community, will be dropped dramatically if we do a couple of the options that Ms. Weiner suggested. and/or some other ideas that will come up in the meantime from these companies, from these teams that are all involved in helping us, from examples we can take on the West Coast. So we have progressed in some things. We've hit some roadblocks we weren't expecting. So to answer your question, yes, I can offer 100% that we are working on that diligently. Probably number one, when we got past our schedule, we do other rules that are pretty standard in the industry. This muffler thing is very precise to this facility. So we concentrate on that with other industry leaders, muffler engine builders, things like that. So we are definitely working on that. And then I think your third thing was practice days. We went from 55 when I got it down to 25, a huge reduction. Can it be reduced some more? To directly answer your question, I would say possibly. I don't think it can be completely taken away for many reasons that we can discuss offline, whether it be tire testing, muffler testing, young children that need practice, things of that nature. So what that magic number is, I'm willing to discuss and keep working on, but I don't have it today.
Appreciate those answers. And on curfews, I have been very encouraged by your efforts, and want to thank you for that. It was more just addressing that, the contract as it was written a few years ago, we set it 11 initially to try to give you time to get up to speed, and that was the baseline I'm addressing. You certainly have come in well under that, and I appreciate that you're continuing to land somewhere in that early 9 o'clock hour. I wasn't necessarily asking you to get any earlier. I just appreciate that you're really trying hard to get down to that 9. That's a real that's a huge improvement over the past, and so commend you on that. And then would be happy to talk more about track rentals. I appreciate you making that commitment to try, for a host of reasons that I've talked about, that this issue has been sort of made a part of a larger piece of things, unfortunately, by Bristol's public misinformation that they've been spreading around. That's not your problem, but I appreciate you being willing to work to see if you can get in under that. Thank you for that, Mr. Sargent.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Mr. Sargent? Okay, Commissioner Weiner, I don't know that we'll need to take a motion for that, but I'm personally happy. I would love to meet with Bob in light of everything that's going on, and maybe we work to individually schedule meetings if other commissioners are willing and able to do that. Do we have a motion or any other questions?
I move to accept the contract as written with the changes noted by our director.
Great, do we have a second?
Second.
Oh, awesome. Any discussion? All in favor? Oh. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. And that concludes our meeting. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.